Hey guys, thanks for joining us back out here at the Range Report, and we're here back at our home base at Point Blank Range in Matthews, North Carolina. It's been a long while since we've been able to come to the range. Over the last year, I've had a couple of very unfortunate incidents that left me injured and unable to actually move around very much. And after some surgeries, a whole bunch of therapy, I'm back out at the range. Still not as active as I'd like to be. I still have some problems with motion and movement, but at least I'm here. I'm at the indoor range. I'm not outside yet. I'm still unable to do a lot of the outdoor stuff, but while I'm inside, I figure I'm going to bring you some of the guns that we've acquired over the last year. And we're going to start off with something that, all right, well, you know, every now and then you just buy something stupid. You know, you get something that you're like, all right, that is so over the top ridiculous that I need to have that. Well, we found just such a firearm. You're familiar with Heritage? They make the Rough Rider. They make a whole bunch of, different versions of the gun. Everything from like the Barkeeper to the Peacemaker style. Well, last year I had the bright idea that I was going to dress up as the Joker for Halloween to, kind of spook the kids when they came through the door. They lasted about 2 minutes because the makeup just sweated right off of me. If you've watched the channel, you know that I have a tendency of perspiring. But to make my outfit as legitimate as I possibly could and to pay honor to Jack Nicholson, I came up with this ridiculous thing. All right, this is the Heritage Rough Rider. This is the Joker edition with a 16-inch barrel. This is a standard single action army only. It's got a fiber optic front sight, adjustable rear sight, and like every other Heritage model, it has a hammer block safety that's built into it. Not any other single action army does. So this is one of the ones that you can carry 6 in the cylinder without having to worry about dropping it and accidentally letting one go. But we've had this one for just about a year now and still haven't fired it. So we're going to do that right now and see if that ridiculous 16-inch barrel makes any sort of difference. Now, just to let you know, when you buy one of these things, they come 22 long rifle, but you can swap out your cylinder for a 22 Magnum, and in a platform like this, that's a pretty good amount of punch, especially given the length of the barrel. You're going to really get the maximum potential out of that round. Right now I got the 22 long rifle cylinder in it because the 22 Magnum cylinder is in a different one, but we're going to let some rounds through. You guys tell me what you think about it. Now I got to load it. All right, so we're back, and before I go any further, before I show you how to load one of these things, I just want to address something. My shirt was crooked for the first whole half of that. That was a lot for one shot, and I did it all with a crooked shirt. So before you start complaining that my shirt was screwed up, get over it. All right, I fixed it. Feel better now? Believe me, that's the worst of my problems. Anyway, to load one of these, you come into half cock, you open up the loading gate, and you spin through the cylinder till you put one in each chamber. If this didn't have the safety on it, you would load one, skip a cylinder, load, and finish out loading it. And this way, when you were done, you would bring it to cock, drop it, and it would fall on an empty chamber. This way you wouldn't have to worry about it being drop safe or not. You don't have to worry about this because, again, this has this nifty little thumb safety right on here. So I'm going to load this, run some rounds down, and we'll check back. Quick note, anytime you're dealing with a single action firearm or any revolver for any matter, don't bring it to half cock and then set it back down. You throw the timing off. Bring it, if you're in half cock, bring it completely to cycle and then bring it back down. You don't want to screw up the mechanism inside. These things are like a clock. They are delicate even though they are reliable. All right, with 6-shot loaded in, hearing protection on, eyes are on. I'm just gonna lay a couple of rounds down. I got a target about 25 feet away. Just gonna see what happens. All right, we got 5 shots and then we have a failure to fire. Uh, these are rim flyers, so they're not exactly the most reliable, as you guys know. Just letting you know, I'm using Federal 22 long rifle on this. Whenever you have a failure to fire on a 22 or any other firearm, remember to keep your muzzle pointed downward for any length of time, because you could have a delayed fire. I don't think that's the case with this. I think it's just a failure too. We're going to unload that in a couple of minutes, but in the meantime, we're just going to bring this home. Now, at 25 feet, I'm trying to, pull center on this thing. And looking at the grouping I got, it really isn't that bad for offhand. Just wish the target would actually come home. There we go. All right, so I got about a 2-inch group, 2.5-inch group from that distance. You're dealing with a 16-inch barrel. This is really a carbine length barrel, so any little bit of movement is going to throw you off a pretty good amount of distance. All right, so as I suspected, that one round that didn't go off, it did get a good strike on the back of the rim. Just like I said, 22 is not necessarily the most reliable ammunition on the market, which is why we don't really recommend them for self-defense purposes. Now, it would be really cool if Heritage took one of these and put a stock on it. We asked them to do that quite a few years ago, and they just completely neglected us. They didn't want to listen until we wrote a couple extra letters, and Heritage decided to come up with one of these. This is the Heritage Rough Rider Rancher. It's the same exact gun as that, except they changed the bottom of the casing, and they threw a really nice walnut stock on it. We're going to run a few rounds through this one and see if we can get much more of a difference between the groupings. Just loaded up 6 through the Rancher. Now the Rancher is a little bit different. It does have a different sight system on it. It's got Buckhorns and it's got a blade. It doesn't have any fiber optics on it. It is worth noting that it does come with a really nice leather sling as well that has attachment points right on the barrel and as well on the buttstock. And you do have an extra finger rest under the trigger guard. Now we just went to load this thing and forgot that we never took out the little plastic safety guide ring that's inside the cylinder. When you go to take these out, have some patience. It's a little bit of a bear. You have to pull the center guide rod out of the cylinder, bring it to half cock, rotate the cylinder, then full cock, then drop the cylinder out, and then reassemble just to get this plastic little disc out of there. But again, we haven't fired this yet, so I don't know how accurate the sights are. Generally, I'm pretty good with one of these, but we shall see. We got 6 rounds in. Safety's disengaged. All right, bringing the carrier home, see what kind of damage I did or didn't do. Hopefully this one actually works without having to spin around too bad. Yep, and there you go. The grouping on this is about 1.5 inches. 2 groups of 3, nice and tight. That's the difference between having the stock on a 16-inch barrel and not having a stock on a 16-inch handgun. One of these is going to run you in and around probably 2.25. One of these is going to run you probably a little closer to 3. I actually enjoyed shooting that just now. It's the alignment is a little different than any other rifle. You're going to have to really bring it up high on your shoulder, bring your head down low to get a good sight on this thing. There is no No accommodations to put a scope of any kind on something like that. It's not designed for that. This is meant to be a scabbard gun, you know, horseback riding, throw it in the truck, do whatever you want to do. If you got kids, you want to let them cut their teeth, hell of a nice little rifle for them to do it. Only weighs about 5 pounds. Nice quality gun for what you're going to pay for this thing. And to have that look, I don't think you're going to beat that for the price. And accuracy really isn't that bad. I'm going to run another few more rounds, but I'm going to do that off camera. In the meantime, this is Frank from the Range Report, and as always, you guys be safe and shoot straight.